everyone, and welcome back to biology. We are continuing with lesson number 7 on photosynthesis. Now, the reason that this lesson has extended so much is because there's a lot of things that are very important for me to explain. I haven't been explaining much, but you have been taking a lot of notes, and if you pay attention, you will be able to do it. Now, photosynthesis. We are learning about how it happens. Now, last class, I left you 3 questions to answer. Those 3 questions, the first question was, during which stage of photosynthesis does the water split into hydrogen and oxygen? Now, part of your assignment last class was to copy down a diagram that looks like this. Obviously, this diagram is not finished. This is just the first stage. I'm going to go through it step by step with you guys so it can clear up some doubts, okay? So this was the diagram that I asked you guys to copy down in your notes, and that is what we will be reviewing. Now, if you would have paid attention to that diagram while you were writing it, you would have noticed that when water splits, it is during the first stage. So your answer for question number 1 should have been first stage, the light reactions. Okay? Now, so it starts off in the first stage. This is all photosynthesis, by the way. It's just the name of the process, okay? So it's called the light reactions. So this is when sunlight enters into the chlorophyll, and like we had mentioned before in our keywords, the chlorophyll is a green pigment in the plants. So it goes into it's absorbed by the chlorophyll, and then it is turned into energy. Now, after it is turned into energy, it is moved by water. Well, it goes to water, and then when the water is processed and split into both hydrogen and oxygen, which if you do recall, water is H2O, which is hydrogen and oxygen. So pretty much water decomposes or splits up into both of its elements, and oxygen is then released by the plant, and hydrogen goes into our second stage, which we are also going to go over. Before we go into the second stage, chlorophyll, your second question has to do with that one. It was, what is the role of chlorophyll in photosynthesis? So here it is. Now, chlorophyll, let's review what it is. Chlorophyll is a green pigment contained in chloroplast, which traps light energy necessary for photosynthesis. So the chlorophyll pretty much is a green pigment, and what it does, it traps the sunlight. So it collects the sunlight and transforms it into energy for the plant to be able to decompose the water into oxygen and hydrogen, which that is what it is, just splits it up. And then the oxygen is released by the plant, and hydrogen leads us into our second stage, which we're going to go over now, which will answer our third question. Now, our second stage, it starts off where we go from hydrogen. Hydrogen is what leads us into our second stage. So remember, when the water splits into both hydrogen and oxygen, the oxygen leaves the plant and hydrogen stays inside and leads us into the second step, which is dark reactions. Now, it's not just dark reactions that lead us into it. It is not just the hydrogen that leads us into it. Carbon dioxide enters from the air. So the plant breathes out the oxygen and inhales or takes in the carbon dioxide that is in the air. So when these two are now combined, hydrogen and carbon dioxide, together to make glucose. If you do remember glucose from fermentation and cell respiration, it's something that's needed to be able to provide the plant with energy. And after hydrogen and carbon dioxide have made glucose, that is what provides the plant with energy. So this goes into photosynthesis, is used during cell respiration and cell fermentation But again, this is for plant cells only. Okay? Very well. Now that we have gone over and reviewed how photosynthesis happens and what it's needed for, I'm going to add 3 more questions to this video, and that is going to be your assignment for today. I do require you guys to send me a picture, well, not of your notes because you already have this in your notes, but since it has already been reviewed, I do need you to send me a picture of all 3 questions answered. So the next 3 questions are going to be,